damned one will have you follow me to hell.
Come closer, and we'll see.
2011 came with quite the Templar fantasy, both in video games and TV series. Using Steam's Remote Play Together, me and my gaming buddy took advantage of the discounted price, of course, for both of these games, and let me tell you, it was a complete success. These are great games for their purposes intended. Back then, developers still emphasized greatly on storytelling. For me, gaming is all about narrative, sprinkled on top with lots of action just so you won't get bored. The first Templar and Cursed Crusade offer exactly that. We all know since good co-op games are not easy to find, one needs to look in the past and dig up buried gems like these two games. I don't have a favorite. It's hard to choose one, and both are good games with excellent co-op, also different in their ways via their scenarios. You just have to choose by yourself. You be the judge. But they're cheap, so might as well get them both. Searching on the internet, I see that back in their days, these games have received mediocre reviews at best. Well, it's been exactly 10 years. I mean, forgive me if I cannot overly criticize these two games. I don't want to be too harsh on something that was released like a decade ago. I'm here to enjoy the story and have fun, and both of them deliver just that. Cursed Crusade takes place somewhere in the year of our Lord 1140, I believe. At its core, you have two medieval soldiers, one of them a knight and the other one a ruffian. Both of them discover demon-like powers inside of them that will aid them in battle and making the story and level design much more interesting. Without any spoilers, the story does go pretty deep. The narrative is as follows. The sins of thy father shall follow the son. It goes back and forth. Trust me, it's interesting. It's worth playing. It is an interesting movie that you get to play about friendship, honor, revenge. You have sword fights, skill upgrades, different weapon style, and the possibility to unlock and upgrade different combo moves, while everything is done with your friend side by side in co-op. If you have a brother, a sister, a friend, or just anybody, you just need to play this in co-op. It's done well, and that's why I highly recommend Cursed Crusade. If you want to pick it up for the single player experience only, well, let's just say I don't recommend it. You're missing out. Play it with someone. I did mention a sister earlier. Well, enter First Templar. Time for diversity, I guess. One of the playable characters is a female, with a very good voice acting, may I add. Here, the story is that you need to uncover the mysteries behind the Templar Order.
For nearly 2 centuries, the Brotherhood they started grew in power and wealth. Its members were at the thick of every battle. They were called the Knights Templar.
Yeah, it sounds a bit familiar. No, this isn't Assassin's Creed, and you don't get to play with Altair, although it would have been cool. Don't worry, the story is once again told very well. With the risk of repeating myself, you are playing a movie. You get to interact with the story. It has this great mystery ambience, and it adds stealth. You don't always go head to head with the bad guys. Sometimes a little bit diversity doesn't hurt. The co-op mechanics here Well, they're less prominent than in Cursed Crusade. Still, you should play with a friend. Again, single player I don't think is the way to go. Because of weapon variety, skill customization, and what I find a more stronger story, I am inclined to give Cursed Crusade a bonus point. Well, then I remember the moments when the enemies were too many with a more mysterious narrative and better visuals all around and vistas. The first Templar is a great choice. Except the moments when I felt lost and I didn't know where to go next. The mini-map often not helping me enough. Also, before I forget to mention, since these games were released 10 years ago, they will probably run on almost any computer. You don't need to worry about performance. I have played both of them on keyboard and mouse, and the camera is fine, no issues. Also, the buttons don't need to be remapped. It's fine just like that by default. If, however, you have a controller, well, that's probably the best way to play this. Cursed Crusade has more gore and very violent scenes, while the first Templar is less explicit in that direction and less blood involved in its combat. You should keep that in mind if that's something important to you.
I told them they could get a good ransom for me. You did the rest, knights in shining armor. Lady Isabel, Duchess of Valois. A pleasure.
Whichever you choose, it's completely up to you. I highly recommend them both. Why not? One thing is for sure. We need more local campaign co-op games. We just don't have enough of these.
Have the three of you gone mad? We are all Christians here. Why do you turn your blades on each other?
I am nostalgic. Current trends are going into a different direction, and developers don't want to invest in games like these. It's hard to get your hands on local co-op, especially if it's campaign local co-op. There are not too many games like these out there. Maybe in the future, who knows? But if you haven't played these two, you are in luck. Pick them up. Despite their reviews, don't let that fool you. I think they're great games and they're worth it.